Welcome to Lake Tahoe, a place of breathtaking beauty. Imagine a giant pool of water so clear you can see straight to the bottom, surrounded by towering snow-capped mountains. This incredible lake sits high up in the Sierra Nevada mountains, right on the border between California and Nevada. It's a playground for swimmers, boaters, and hikers. But beneath its sparkling sapphire blue surface, this ancient lake holds a secret. It's a mystery that has been whispered about for centuries. People from all over the world come here not just for the views, but for the chance to maybe, just maybe, catch a glimpse of something legendary lurking in its depths. Long before modern cities and ski resorts dotted the landscape, this land was home to Native American tribes like the Washoe people. They have lived here for thousands of years and have always known the lake is a powerful spiritual place. Their oldest stories are filled with respect for the water and its inhabitants. These stories sometimes mention giant, serpent-like creatures living deep within the lake. These weren't just simple monster tales, they were warnings and lessons about the lake's power. The tribes understood that something mysterious and mighty commanded the deep, cold waters, and it was a force to be respected. They passed these tales down through generations, long before the name Tessie was ever spoken. As settlers and adventurers began arriving in the 19th century, they brought their own stories and fears. They heard the native legends and soon began reporting their own strange encounters. Fishermen would talk of massive shadows moving under their boats, too large to be any known fish. Early tourists, mesmerized by the lake's beauty, would sometimes see something unexplainable break the surface in the distance. These new stories blended with the ancient ones, and the legend of a monster in Lake Tahoe began to grow. It wasn't just a local myth anymore, it was becoming a true American mystery, a piece of folklore as deep and intriguing as the lake itself. The mystery deepened with every new report. Imagine being out on a calm, glassy lake, the only sound being the gentle lapping of water against your boat. Suddenly the water begins to churn, a long, dark shape emerges, moving with a silent grace that sends a shiver down your spine. This is the experience people started to describe. The legend of Tahoe Tessie was born from these shared moments of wonder and a little bit of fear. The creature became a symbol of the wild, untamed nature of this incredible place. A reminder that even in the modern world, some mysteries remain hidden just out of sight. So, what do people actually see when they claim to have met Tessie? The descriptions are surprisingly consistent. Most witnesses describe a creature that is incredibly long, maybe 60 feet or more, that's longer than a school bus. They often say it has smooth, dark skin, sometimes with a grayish or greenish tint, that helps it blend in with the deep water. Its body is usually described as serpentine, like a giant snake moving through the water with graceful, undulating motions. Some people have even reported seeing humps breaking the surface, moving in a straight line before disappearing back into the abyss. It sounds like something straight out of an ancient tale of sea dragons. While the body is often described as snake-like, the head is where things get even more interesting. Many sightings don't get a clear look at the head at all, only the massive body gliding by. But a few lucky, or perhaps unlucky, witnesses have described a head that is reptilian, similar to that of a snake or a prehistoric plesiosaur. They mention large, captivating eyes that seem to observe everything around them. Unlike the famously shy Loch Ness monster, some say Tessie isn't afraid to get a closer look. The full picture is of a sleek, powerful creature perfectly adapted to its deep, cold home, an animal that has somehow survived, hidden from science for centuries. Let's dive into some of the stories. One of the most famous modern sightings happened in the 1980s. A group of people on a catamaran were enjoying a beautiful day when they saw something extraordinary. A huge dark shape surfaced near their boat. They described it as being over 60 feet long with a series of humps. It moved silently and powerfully through the water, leaving a wake behind it before it dove down and vanished. They were stunned, left with a story that sounded unbelievable but felt completely real. It's these kinds of clear daylight sightings from multiple witnesses that keep the legend so powerful and compelling. Another tale comes from a pair of police officers who were out on the lake in their patrol boat. They saw a large, black object moving against the current at an impressive speed. At first, they thought it might be a log or some debris, but as they got closer, they realized it was moving with purpose. It was creating its own wake, something a floating object wouldn't do. They watched it for several minutes as it swam across a wide section of the lake before it submerged and disappeared from sight. When law enforcement officers report seeing something they can't explain, it makes you think there might really be something more to this story. What could possibly be the real explanation behind these incredible sightings? Scientists and skeptics have a few ideas. One of the most popular theories is that people are simply misidentifying known animals. Lake Tahoe is home to some very large fish, like the Mackinaw trout, which can grow to be several feet long. It's possible that when seen from a distance, or when a few of them swim in a line, they could create the illusion of a single, much larger creature. The way light plays on the water can also create optical illusions, making a group of swimming otters or even a floating log look like something much more mysterious. Another possibility is that Tessie is a real but unknown creature. This is the most exciting theory for monster hunters. The idea is that a population of large, prehistoric animals, perhaps a type of freshwater plesiosaur or a giant eel, managed to survive in the lake, hidden from the outside world. Lake Tahoe is the perfect place for such a secret. It is incredibly deep, over 1,600 feet in some spots, and the water near the bottom is perpetually dark and cold. An animal living in those crushing depths could easily avoid human contact for most of the year, only surfacing occasionally for reasons we can't begin to understand. Of course, we also have to consider the power of the human imagination. Lake Tahoe is a place that inspires awe and wonder. When you're out on that vast, deep water surrounded by majestic mountains, your mind can start to play tricks on you. The legend of Tessie is so well known now that people might be more likely to interpret a strange shadow or an unusual wave as the famous monster. The desire to be part of a legend is strong, and sometimes we see what we want to see. This doesn't mean people are lying, but simply that their minds are filling in the blanks with the most exciting explanation possible. The lake itself adds to the mystery. It's an ancient body of water, formed millions of years ago, and its great depth means we have never fully explored its bottom. The water is also exceptionally cold, which helps preserve things. In fact, the famous oceanographer Jacques Cousteau explored the lake in a mini-submarine in the 1970s. While he never claimed to have seen a monster, he was famously quoted as saying, "The world isn't ready for what's down there." What did he mean? We may never know for sure, but his mysterious comment only adds fuel to the fire of the Tessie legend, suggesting the lake holds secrets we can't yet comprehend. Tahoe Tessie is more than just a monster story. She has become a beloved part of the local culture and a true American icon. You can see her image everywhere around the lake. Her friendly, cartoonish face appears on t-shirts, coffee mugs, and postcards in every gift shop. Local artists create sculptures and paintings of her, sometimes looking fierce and mysterious, other times gentle and playful. There are even businesses and sports teams named after her. Tessie has transformed from a frightening creature of the deep into a friendly mascot for the entire Lake Tahoe community, a symbol of the region's unique charm and mystery. This enduring fascination shows how much we love a good mystery. In a world where science seems to have an answer for everything, the idea that a giant, undiscovered creature could be living right under our noses is thrilling. It reminds us that our planet is still full of secrets, and that there are frontiers left to explore, even in our own backyard. People continue to visit Lake Tahoe every year, their eyes scanning the water, hoping to be the next person to see the legendary beast. The search for Tessie keeps the spirit of adventure alive for everyone, from young kids to serious researchers. Why do we keep telling this story? We tell it because it connects us to the history and nature of this special place. The legend of Tessie is a thread that ties the ancient myths of the Washoe people to the campfire tales of today's tourists. It encourages us to look at the lake not just as a pretty vacation spot, but as a living, breathing ecosystem with secrets we have yet to uncover. The story inspires a sense of respect for the lake's power and its vast, unexplored depths. It's a reminder that we are just small visitors in a wild and ancient world. In the end, it doesn't really matter whether Tahoe Tessie is a real flesh-and-blood animal, a trick of the light, or a story born from our collective imagination. Her legend makes the world a more exciting and magical place. She represents the thrill of the unknown and the joy of wondering, what if? As long as Lake Tahoe's waters remain deep, cold, and mysterious, the story of Tessie will continue to be told. And who knows? The next time you visit, you might just want to keep your camera ready. You never know what might break the surface.